All right, so we're cruising along here. Let's take a look at number 26. And again, the directions for 26 and 27. Simplify the expression, write the result using positive exponents only. All right, so if we look at 26, we can see that, well, let me go ahead and I guess we'll rewrite it. Times x to the 8th over 8x to the 4th. All right, so if we look at the numerator, we can see that we have three things that are being multiplied together, right? We have a 7 being multiplied by by x to the 3rd, and then being multiplied by x to the 8th. And you'll remember that multiplication is commutative, right? So that means 2 times 5 is the same as 5 times 2. So we can rewrite this in a different order, which means that let's go ahead and ignore the 7 for a moment and just focus on the x to the 3rd times x to the 8th. Well, you'll recall that since we're multiplying like bases, what do we do with our exponents? We add. And so really what we have is 7 times x to the 11th over 8x to the 4th. All right, and now, well, 7 over 8 can't be reduced, so that's just 7 over 8. And now, though, taking a look at the x's, are we top-heavy or bottom-heavy for our x's? Well, we're top-heavy by how many? By 7, right? So we have x to the 7th. So what do we do here? Well, because we were top-heavy by 7, and we got 7 by subtracting 4 from 11, right? Because this is the same thing as 7 over 8, and then x, 11 minus 4. We were top-heavy. And remember, wherever the variable is heavy is where it stays. Meaning, since we were heavy in the numerator, our final answer is going to have that variable in the numerator. If these were flipped, if we were heavy in the denominator, then our final answer would, for x's at any rate, would remain in the denominator. All right, so let's take a look at 27. And they give us 3x to the 3rd squared times 2x to the negative 3. All right, well, the first thing that we can do here is, because we see a negative exponent, let's go ahead and move this exponent. And this negative 3 has power over all of this. So we're going to take this whole thing and move it downstairs to the denominator. And so when we rewrite this, we have 3x to the 3rd. This whole thing is being squared. Now over 2x to the positive 3. All right. Well, now let's go ahead and see what happens. So we're going to apply a power to a power, and same thing down here. This 3, because we can write an exponent here for each of these numbers, right? So we have 3, and now 1 times 2, and then times x to the 3rd times 2 over 2, 1 times 3 times x, and this x is also being raised to the first power, so we have x to the 1st times 3. And now simplifying, we have 3 squared times x to the 6th over 2 to the 3rd times x to the 3rd. So what is 3 squared? Well, that gives us 9. And we have our x to the 6th over, well, 2 to the 3rd is 8, right? 2 times 2 times 2. So 8 x to the 3rd. Well, again, 9 over 8 can't be reduced. But looking at our x's, are we top-heavy or bottom-heavy? We're top-heavy by how many? 3. And so we have 9 over 8, x to the 3rd.